What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Ride and Dad channel video, or welcome if it's your first time. Either way, very glad to have you. You saw the thumbnail, you know what we're doing. I feel like I say that all the time. I gotta stop saying you saw the thumbnail, but anyway, you really did see the thumbnail. You should know what we're doing here. We got different risers. They're not conventional risers, right? So let's talk about it for a second, then we'll roll that intro. So this Sportster is unique in the fact that it kind of sucks for the build that I want to do. It's the Superlow. It's a 2013 Sportster Superlow. For those of you who don't know, it's the XL883 Superlow. The risers, or the riser setup that comes stock with this bike, is a built-in riser as part of the triple tree. It's molded in, as you guys can see right now. I'm touching it. Now, normally, this has the riser top mount is part with the speedometer and such. These longer bolts are because previously I had these riser extensions. Got a whole video on these riser extensions. They're 2-inch 2-inch risers extensions, 2-inch riser extensions by LA Choppers, and these come with the higher bolts, and that's what I was running. Now, to get this set up exactly where I want it, 2 inches is not enough. Boy, if I had $1 for every time I heard that. I need at least 4 inches, probably 6 to 8 would have probably been even better to have it at that pretty much parallel level with these bars. Now, yes, I could do different bars, but these mid-bend thrashing bars are the perfect angle for me, and they don't make any other bars with this exact same setup as far as length and sweep back at all that I can find. They might somewhere, but not that I can find with the, it's also tough because certain manufacturers don't state anything, and I also don't want it to look weird. I don't want like mini apes on this. I want it to be this height of a bar. So cue what we're doing today. The reason this is all a mess is because I have tried filming this video 2 separate times. This will be the 3rd time I've tried filming this video with different parts. I have tried a myriad of different top triple tree mounts. Now, if you have a 1200 or a 48, there are top triple tree mounts, and if you have this style where it's like integrated, there are top triple tree mounts that, or not mounts, triple trees, just top triple trees that kind of delete this factory issue-ish area and replace it with holes for either a direct to a traditional riser mount system or a direct to riser mount system with holes, cutouts for riser bushings. Now, I have tried everything that me and people much smarter than me have told me may or may not work, and nothing has worked on this bike. The dimensions have just been off, unfortunately, so that's why we're here today. Now, I have purchased these. What brand are they again? They are ROX, R-O-X Speed FX. They're called risers, but they're kind of, in my mind, like a riser extension sort of thing. Now, these are not made per their instructions, not made to be used in addition to, like 2 tall sets of risers, or specifically what they said is bars over 4 inches tall. They're not made to be used with apes, mini apes, or anything like that. But basically, they're 2 separate pieces. The integrated riser from this bike, these are going to go on that. Now I'm going to put the stock Speedo mounted riser back on there. I got some new bolts for it, or depending on how it looks with that Speedo on the bottom and then the bars up top, which I feel like it's going to look maybe a little weird, I'm going to put the black kind of stock Harley riser that I have left over from other bike stuff exactly like it is right now, but instead of these bars, these risers are going to be there. And then I have a Amazon mount for the speedometer that's going to go right on the side of the fork. So by the end of this video, we're going to do one or the other, and if I do have to do the fork mounted speedo mount. That's going to be a separate video, but you will see the end results of that in today's video, if that makes sense. So let's roll the intro finally and start tearing it down.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a
All right, I've already covered my tank, and it's lifted up a little bit because again, I was messing with the internals for the wiring. I have removed all the wiring and everything like that. We are going to probably have to remove the these early videos kill my brain, man. The clutch perch mount for the right side with the brake reservoir and everything with the master cylinder. We're gonna have to remove that because it's just too short, which if I do like this setup with these risers, these are 4-inch. It's gonna put the bars overall at about 8 inches high by the time it gets to my actual hands. So if I do like this setup, I'm going to wind up having to get a new brake line and a new clutch line. The clutch will probably stretch enough right now to mount them with the clutch installed, but I'm definitely not going to be able to run it at that height. And honestly, looking at it, I feel like it's not even going to stretch to that height, you know, as it is right now anyway. So we're going to go ahead and remove the bars and remove the clutch and the brake perch mounts, and then put them somewhere down that's not going to scratch anything up. All right, so as you can see, this is all done. I did go ahead and install the stock riser top mount and also, you know, with integrated speedometer. This is actually the one that I was going to put the speedometer in, and I still can, you know, obviously just swap it out. But this would have been it. Obviously this is not where it would sit. Finally, I just kind of put it up to see, but I am going to go ahead and return this because sitting there and with this and everything, this works completely fine. Now I can't drop the tank because I have other stuff to do for other videos right now, but your stock wiring, it looks like it's going to have to be threaded through the back here and come out directly there. It's not going to be able to come through where the eyebrow was. So the good and bad one, you have the ability to pinch it in your triple trees when you're turning the forks at full lock to the left. The bad would, or that is the bad. The good would be that it's going to be hidden. It's going to be behind there, so you're going to have really clean area here. It's not going to mess with this. This is going to go underneath where the eyebrow mount, or in between where the eyebrow headlight mount is, and the top triple. So overall, it does appear like I will not have any issues with the length for these two. The speedometer is going to be in the stock location. These are already longer to begin with. My throttle and idle cables. Like I said, the clutch, we are going to have to get a new one because as you can see, This is just not, it's just, I mean, it'll work as is, but it's really not ideal. It's just putting this at more of a bend. So obviously we're gonna have to get a new clutch, cable, but everything else we should, oh, and the brake cable. We are gonna have to get a new brake, or not cable, but hydraulic line. We are for sure gonna have to get a new brake line. I am gonna order a +5. The reason I'm gonna order a +5 is because obviously these raise the bars 4 inches, like I said, but I did also lower the forks in the triple trees. So I'm going to give myself that extra inch of clearance because I think I'm about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height just from the triple tree, you know, like with the forks lowering in there. So I think a +5 with the brake line is going to be good, and I ordered the Sterling Chromite from Magnum Shielding. That's what the idle cable and throttle cable are like. Something to note about this setup, you're obviously, you know, if you care about torque specs, wow. If you care about torque specs, you're going to torque the bottom down to what your stock is because that is your stock stuff. As far as these go, the instructions do say to torque these smaller bottom bolts down first. You got 4 of them, and it says we recommend tightening these to the torque spec listed in your manual. If no torque spec is available, then you may use 8 to 10 foot-pounds of torque. Also, if your manual says more than 8 to 10 foot-pounds, I would not do more. I would do the 8 to 10 foot-pounds because these screws are relatively small, and I almost stripped one just torquing it down the little bit that I did in the beginning. So they're not the most amazing quality. Probably would be beneficial to get some grade 8 hardware at some point and swap it out here, but 8 to 10 foot-pounds. And then as your final step, it says to tighten the larger bolts down, these top ones. It says we recommend tightening these bolts to the torque spec listed in your manual. If no torque spec is available, then you may use 18 to 20 foot-pounds of torque, substantially, you know, double what these bottom ones are. So yeah, and basically these bottom ones are almost going to fit snug, almost completely on the bottom. But overall, I really actually don't think it looks as bad as I thought it was going to look. So I'm actually pretty happy with it. The bars could still stand to be another 2 to 3 inches taller to fit me perfectly. But again, this is a less than ideal situation because of this freaking integrated top tree. I hate that setup on this bike. And yes, they do sell a top and bottom with the stem in there and everything kind of kit, but those are $900. Maybe down the line, yes, but there's so much else I want to / need to do to this bike before I spend $900 just on a triple tree setup. I don't have that much money laying around. So yeah, that is going to be something that potentially down the line I do, you know, go ahead and get, but for under $200, this kind of solves my current issue, and it definitely makes it a lot more comfortable than it was prior. So I think this is a win. All right, so there you have it. We did it. Again, I mean, it's not bad. The thing that I'm just now noticing too is that because these are kind of used more on metric stuff, although this is a 1 inch and it fits fine, this is more of a metric style because all the Harleys and everything have risers and you just get different risers. The spacing is a little bit wider than the knurling on these thrashing bars at least, so you can see that, which is not amazing. However, if you have a handlebar bag or, you know, any kind of bag like that, you would cover that up and it wouldn't be that much of an issue. When I put the tank back down and I rewire all this stuff, I am going to try to put my small thrashing handlebar bag back up on the bottom side here. I do believe it will clear the tank no problem, but I do have to double check and I have to wait till I get it out of the lift as well so I can see at full lock if it's gonna scratch anything up or hit. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm excited to do the other million things I have to do to this bike, and you guys will see in the next couple of videos, so I can get this bike off the lift and I can go actually test ride it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've used this, or unfortunately, if you've had any kind of bad experience with, you know, products like this. Let me know, please, because again, I would, even though it sucks, I would like to know that. But yeah, Instagram, TikTok, everything like that. Linktree is in the bottom. All the links are in the description, as well as everything that I've done. The link for this will be in the description as well. Past video playlists and stuff for all my build series. Go ahead and make sure you hit a thumbs up on this video. I really would appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you turn on post notifications. It's the Riding Dad channel. It's the best channel on YouTube, the best channel. 9 out of 10 dentists recommend it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and until the next time, ride safe, have fun. Dad out.